You know that feeling when a song gets stuck in your head? It just plays on a loop over and over, and you definitely didn't ask for it to be there? Well, today we're going to dive into that whole experience, those thoughts, those images, those little bits of a melody that just move into your brain and refuse to leave. I mean, really think about it for a second. It could be that one line from a pop song you heard on the radio this morning. Or, I don't know, a super random, cringy memory from high school that just pops into your head for literally no reason. It's such a universal feeling, right? An idea just shows up, plants a flag in your mind, and suddenly it owns the place. It's honestly like having a roommate you never signed a lease with. It doesn't pay any bills, it shows up completely unannounced, and it makes itself right at home in the most expensive real estate you own, your own attention. And you know what? It turns out modern slang has given us the absolute perfect phrase for this whole thing, a term that just perfectly captures this idea of an unwelcome, freeloading thought. Yep, the phrase is living rent-free. It's that moment when you realize some random comment a coworker made last Tuesday has basically built a little house inside your brain. So that's it. That's the official name for our uninvited mental guest. And this slide just nails the metaphor, doesn't it? If your mind is the apartment, that sticky idea, well, that's the tenant who's not paying rent, is probably leaving dishes in the sink, and you just can't figure out how to evict them. It's a really powerful and, let's be honest, a scarily accurate way to describe how this whole thing feels. But here's the thing, not all of these mental tenants are the same. Oh no. They come in a few very distinct and often very annoying types. So let's take a closer look at who exactly is taking up all this precious space in our heads. Okay, first up, you've got the random thought. This could be that super embarrassing thing you said at a party like 5 years ago that your brain decides to replay for you at 3 in the morning. Or it could be a sudden, totally bizarre what-if question, like, do penguins have knees? They're unpredictable, they're usually pretty useless, and man, they love to show up at the absolute worst times. Then we have a tenet that's pretty specific to our digital age, the viral meme. You know what I'm talking about. It's that one image, that short video clip, maybe a sound from TikTok that just loops in your mind long after you've scrolled past it. It's basically the visual version of a song you can't get out of your head. And finally, we have the most famous, or maybe infamous, tenet of them all, the catchy song. Ah, the earworm. We all know this one intimately. It's that ridiculously repetitive chorus from a top 40 hit or a commercial jingle from your childhood that just decides, hey, I think I'll make a comeback this afternoon. So, the big question is, why? What is it about these thoughts that gives them so much staying power? Well, the title of our source material, Sticky Thoughts and Lingering Memes, actually gives us a huge clue. It's not just that they show up, it's that they have these two specific qualities that make them incredibly hard to kick out. And this slide breaks it down beautifully. Sticky is all about that initial grab. You know, thoughts that are super emotional or surprising or just simple enough that they latch on right away. Lingering, on the other hand, is about their staying power. This often happens when our brain creates an open loop, like an unfinished song chorus that it feels this deep need to complete again and again. And of course, the most powerful rent-free thoughts, they're usually both. Okay, so with all these different tenants running around causing a ruckus, it can really start to feel like you've lost control of your own mind. But let's bring this metaphor full circle and think about our role in all of this. Here's the thing. Even though these thoughts can feel like hostile invaders, at the end of the day, you're the one in charge. You are the landlord. Now, you might not be able to stop tenants from knocking on the door, but you do have a say in whether you let them sign a lease and stay forever. And the very first step is just noticing they're there in the first place. And really, that's the question we want to leave you with. Take a second right now and think about your own mental tenets. Are they funny memories, annoying jingles, maybe some anxious worries? Because knowing who's living in your head is the first step to deciding who gets to stay and who you might want to start serving an eviction notice.